my dear students, and of course, all the delegates who have registered for the conference. A warm welcome to Adikavinannayauniversity and the inauguration ceremony of the 3-day international conference on Writing the Anthropocene, Engendering Ecological Consciousness in English and Telugu literatures. As the principal of the University College of Arts and Commerce, as part of the administration of the Nannayanewustv, I have the duty of giving brief details regarding the university, the college, and of course the department from which I come, that is the Department of English. As many of you are aware that our university is the biggest university in the state, of course, in terms of affiliation. And there are miles to go ahead and many things to be achieved and accomplished in terms of academics and research. The university is having 4 constituent colleges: University College of Arts and Commerce, University College of Science and Technology, University College of Engineering, and University College of Education, along with the 2 PG campuses located in Kakinada and Tadepalligudem. With all this, the university has become the focal point for the academic issues and the education of the 2 districts, and of course scattering out of the districts and out of the states also. Coming to our College of Arts and Commerce, this has commenced with English and MBA courses in 2006. The Department of Management Studies is added with Commerce and is running successfully with the managerial leadership of our beloved Professor Teki, who was the Senior Professor of Management Studies and of course is the Registrar of our university. Along with him, we have 2 more faculty, Dr. Uday Bhaskar and Dr. Uma Maheshwari, adding many other ad hoc assistant professors. Of course, the Management Studies department is very vibrant, conducting many programs, gathering all the students. Recently only we had the Management Fest also, Prayag. Now, the Department of English, of course, and the whole College of University of Arts and Commerce is strengthened academically with the commencement of Telugu, Economics, Psychology, Social Work, and Political Science departments, in which different teachers who are all doctorates are rendering their services for the benefit of all the students. The Department of English, since its inception, has been offering PG in English language and literature and began research activities with the PhD admissions in 2010. And it is actively involved in organizing various national and international seminars, conferences, workshops, etc. And of course, our College of Engineering is well equipped in terms of faculty and others, offering engineering courses, MTech, MCA also. And we have good faculty with good research projects and publications, etc. in our Science and Technology College also. And we have Education College offering B.Ed, M.Ped, and it is running successfully, and we had a mark in the sports area also with our M.Ped students. With these few reflections on the university and the Department of English, I now invite Professor K. Sri Ramesh, convener of the International Conference, to present the convener's report.
President of this meeting, Dr. D. Jyotirmay, esteemed Rector of the University, Professor Suresh Verma, Registrar of the University, Professor S. Teki, visiting Fulbright Scholar and keynote addressee, Professor Christina Nicole, former Registrar of this University, Professor D.S. V. Prasad, my colleague Talari Vasu, the head of the Department of English, Sajana Raj, dignitaries of the dais, delegates, faculty colleagues, students, elite of the town, press and media. It is indeed my pleasure to invite you all to the 3-day international conference on writing the Anthropocene, engendering ecological consciousness in English and Telugu literatures. The conference was conceived long back, almost more than a year ago. Bringing together literature and environment has been in my mind for a very long time. While working in Rajiv Gandhi Central University, Arunachal Pradesh, I happened to study a rebellion of the tribes against the British. The basis of the rebellion is, of course, like our Alluri Sitaramaraju rebellion here, the same old story of decimating the forests for the expansion of tea gardens. My study has revealed that the British have catalogued the tribes, trees in the forest, animals and every other living creatures in the forest only to destroy them. A writer from Arunachal Pradesh, Mamang Dai, has noted this fact with sadness. Even though it comes under post-colonial studies, I have been thinking how devastation of environment and ecology has a lasting influence on not only human life but other life forms too. It is now an established fact that human species has progressed at the cost of other species. That the progress is flawed at its core is also a fact. Human species alone cannot sustain the life forms on the earth at the expense of other species is another fact that we cannot ignore. Man's impact on environment and ecology is visible not only to the naked eye but to all other senses. No corner of the earth, including deep seas and the biota living in it, is exempted from man's intervention. Discarded plastic is found even in the deep sea mammals. All major rivers are polluted and are almost on the verge of dying. Hence, philosophers, nature scientists, geologists, environmental activists have been demanding that this age be called the Anthropocene, the age of mankind, rather than Holocene, the name given by geologists. India too has its own stories of environmental struggles. But what is the response of creative writing to these struggles as well as the visible destruction of environment? Beginning with Rachel Carson in the United States, you could have seen her at the entrance itself. Many writers have been responding to this crisis in one form or the other. Creative, non-creative, fictional and other modes of writing. So it is the objective of this conference to discuss that literature, English and Telugu, which is narrating the Anthropocene. We have allotted 2 days for English and 1 day for Telugu. It has been a surprise to many people why the Department of English has also included Telugu. Formally, we did collaborate with the Department of Telugu in our university, and you can see Dr. Talari Vasu, from the Department of Telugu, collaborating with us. Indeed, I am proud to say that the Department of English has organized more number of seminars and conferences in Telugu than in English. But beyond that, it is my strong conviction that new literary trends should percolate to local languages. Not that there is no environmental consciousness among Telugu writers, but it is time that we should cross the language barriers for the good of the society we live in. After all, we are going to discuss environment and literature, so why not in 2 languages? We received 30 papers in English and more than 40 papers in Telugu. Had it been a purely literature conference, we would have had more number of papers. But the topic is the first of its kind in Andhra Pradesh. I am happy that Adikavinannayauniversity became the platform for the inauguration of this new area. Organizing an international conference is a daunting task. Inviting an expert foreign speaker has turned out to be a nightmare to me. First, I invited Professor Scott Slovic from the University of Idaho, USA, to deliver the keynote address. His visa application was turned down by the Indian consulate as he happened to travel to Pakistan last year. We can understand that. Then on his recommendation, I invited Dr. Greg Garrard, another well-known scholar on eco-criticism, to deliver the keynote. Greg has edited and wrote a number of books on eco-criticism. Unfortunately, his visa application was twice rejected. I don't know the reasons. He lost $200 on it, and I should find ways and means to reimburse the amount. So finally, I banked on my Fulbright experience. I wrote an SOS mail to United States India Educational Foundation, which is now administering Nehru Fulbright scholarships, to help me with a Fulbright scholar who can attend the conference at a short notice. I did all this mailing, writing in my delayed flight from Hyderabad to Bangalore. Yusufi gave me the list of visiting Fulbright scholars. I found Christina to be the right person. But I wasn't sure if she will agree to come at such short notice. I should thank God she agreed. Christina, you saved my day. Otherwise, I would have had to face the suspicion that I am purposefully postponing this conference to prevent my transfer to Tadepalligudem. Honorable Rector and Honorable Registrar, I hope will note this point. Scott Slovic has of course agreed to give Skype lecture tomorrow, which we are arranging, and I should thank our Rector sir, who is also the Professor of Computer Science, for arranging this the Skype lecture, and we have already tested it. So tomorrow at 3 o'clock we are going to have a Skype lecture by Professor Scott Slovic from America. Finally, I take this opportunity to thank our esteemed Vice Chancellor, for whom I have a lot of respect as a committed academic. Unfortunately, due to the visit of the Chief Minister in Kurnool, he could not make it to the conference. My colleagues, including the President of this meeting, Dr. Jyotirmay, and other team members, my students, did their best for the arrangements. I hope the delegates will enjoy their stay here. If you have any discomfort, please feel free to bring it to our notice. Once again, I welcome you all to Anthropocene, the age of mankind. Thank you very much.
Madam President of this morning's inaugural function, Dr. D. Jyotirmay, and Principal, College of Arts and Commerce, esteemed Rector, Professor Suresh Verma, and my dear friend, Registrar, Professor Teki, and the convener, Professor K.S. Ramesh, and the principals of various constituent colleges. If I remember, Dr. Ramneswari is the College of Science and Technology principal, and Ola Persis is the College of Engineering principal, and Jyotirmay is the College of Arts principal, and Dr. Subbaravar is the College of Education principal, and the various deans, officers, research scholars, and our today's guest of honor, Professor Christina Nicole from Sonoma State University, USA, and distinguished delegates from various parts of India and abroad, research scholars, and my dear students, mostly our most esteemed colleagues of Adikavinannayauniversity from all the departments. Good morning to all of you. So if I see this hall, it is very much scintillating with the presence of all the delegates and students and esteemed colleagues. There are some reasons. You may ask me. Basically, I am a physicist, professor of physics, Andhra University. You may ask why you are so much interested in attending this conference. There are a few reasons, of course, to mention a few of them, because time constraint is there. Actually, I have started my early education here only. That is first standard I have studied here in a convent. That is one of the reasons. This convent is earlier. It was opposite to JSC Talkies, which may be now called as Surya Theatre maybe, if I remember. That building is also there still now, old building is there. The second reason is this is a very prestigious university, and for which I have served as the registrar, of course, 1 year only. The third reason is I love all people here because I have treated all my faculty as my esteemed colleagues during my tenure as the registrar. That is one of the reasons. So the next one is it is on the bank of the river Pais Godavari. Actually, I belong to West Godavari, of course. Native place is West Godavari. So because of all these reasons and this conference, I think this proposal was already conceived, I think maybe a year ago, as suggested by Professor Ramesh. Even though I was away from Rajahmundry, I always used to talk to him regarding various aspects, particularly academics, teaching and research, how it is going on in our campus. I will call like that, in our campus, Adikavinannayauniversity. That's why I came here to attend this inaugural function. So I request all the delegates. I think they are very much comfortable here at Rajahmundry, and I request all the delegates enjoy this program, and definitely they will get benefited by participating on all the deliberations during all these 3 days of program. With these few remarks, I wish Professor Ramesh and his team, conveners, co-conveners, all the very best during the course of this program. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, sir, for coming all the way.
Good morning. It's really an honor to be here among all of you who are willing to come talk about the problems that we're facing right now about the environment. I came to India. I hope you can understand my accent, my weird American accent. I came to India about 20 years ago when I was 19, and it was in the middle of university. And so I traveled around India for about 6 months, and it was a very different time. So I went to a very remote village up in the north, and all of the women wore purple saris. And so one morning I woke up, and it was this beautiful village, all clay houses, very clean, and I saw all of these women in purple saris coming out of their houses, and I just thought, this is so beautiful. They have so much to teach me. But they wanted to ask me. So I was traveling with a friend of mine and a couple of men, and they said, oh, you've come to our village. Could you give a speech? Could you give us some good advice? And we had no idea what kind of advice to give. So the one man, the American man, just stood up there and he said what we normally say to children, which is, make all your dreams come true. And the parents were really annoyed at that because they said, our children don't have the means to make their dreams come true. But I think India right now has reached a point where you actually can. And so in my talk, I'll be talking about those dreams and about paying attention to what those dreams actually are, because I think there are good dreams and there are better dreams for the environment. So thank you for all inviting me to be here.
Thank you, Nicole.
House, Faithful President of the 3-day International Conference, Dr. Jyotirmay, esteemed Vice Chancellor in absence of Professor A.V. Prasad Rao Garu, beloved Rector, Conference Convener, former Registrar, University Principals, Deans, faculty colleagues, delegates of the conference, sponsors of the conference, student friends, ladies and gentlemen, press and media, boys and girls. Indeed, it is our great privilege to have this 3-day international conference after a long time in the campuses. We have been organizing for a national level, but Professor Ramesh has struggled along with his team for almost last 1 year. And because we have seen a number of conference invitations coming, 1 month notice and 1 week notice, national conferences. How is it possible to get a paper for a 1 month notice for a national conference to do that? Even 1 year may not be good enough to get a good paper to get it. But the Department of English is one of such department, never compromises on the quality, and we are proud of it. Thank you very much for getting all the laurels to the department. We are proud to say, maybe in all the universities in Andhra Pradesh, we have the only one Fulbrighter in the faculty, that is Professor Ramesh, and the campus is proud of him to have a Fulbrighter and to lead the department and under his advice. In keeping and coming to the conference theme, it is very topical and apt, close to my heart and close to everybody's heart, because we have only 3 global problems at present. The first one, poverty reduction. The second one, climate change or global warming. The third one is the extremism, which we have experienced a couple of days ago, taking away our valuable soldiers of 40 close to. Amongst these 3, the forefront and most important, I thank Dr. Talar Vasu, whether his thought or anybody's thought, he has quoted the degrading nature can be protected, not taken by any materialistic measures, rather the measures, what is it called? You purify your thoughts, you purify your heart. What are you going to gain if we don't have enough oxygen to breathe? How much money you earn, and are we going to give fuel and systematic oxygens to our offsprings? For whom are we saving this much materialistic wealth? He rightly said, Ruksho Rakshita Rakshitaha Dharmo Rakshita Rakshitaha. Ammal kanna amma మాతృభూమి అంటుంటాము. అమ్మల కన్నా అమ్మని పూజ చేయటానికి వెళ్తుంటాము. ఆ పూజ చేసేటప్పుడే ఎంత పొల్యూషన్ చేస్తామో మన అందరికీ తెలిసి ఉంటుంది. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, when worship, especially the woman pope who used to visit the temples or churches, the material for worship, they used to take it in a steel basket like that. Now all these are done away. The polythene bags within coconut and dust. One, how hypocritic we are. Let us self-examine. We say, Ammala kanna amma, but we destroy while worshipping ourselves. So this, I call it as very hypocritic style of us. We should rectify and we should realize, and to make you aware and to realize these are the platforms very well thought of it and most topical, and it's not to count for the department profile at another international conference, but it is lot of meaning it is going to serve. We all know the civilization has commenced and rather started from the nature. If we look at our education system, when the education system was not open to a common man, it was highly reserved for, the kings and the scholars. And the kings, their offsprings, they used to go to forests and gurukulas rather. The gurukulas were not situated in the palaces of the kingdom. The gurukulas always they were in the nature and the forest. The wisdom for the entire education system born there, and it has come, but unfortunately the wisdom that has given, we have begun to reciprocate it in a negative manner, destroying all these things. And all, if you see the school systems now, all is in concrete jungle, no nature schooling is done, but nature takes its own correction. That's what, if you look at the Western world, especially the European countries, they're going back to the nature. And the kindergarten schools in Europe, especially when I visited Austria, they're no longer in the cities. They are located in the midst of the forest. The children, a van picks up in the morning, takes them the children, leave them in the forest, and there is a school like our Gurukulas. And I'm happy the day will also come here, and this is the pursuits that lead us to take a note of it. With this brief note, and our esteemed Vice Chancellor conveyed his greetings, and he cut a sorry to the organizers, because beyond his control to reach here, he tried his level best, but we have our respected rector to convey his messages, and in his absence, he has greeted the house and conveyed his greetings to us. Thank you very much for giving an opportunity.
Thank you, sir, for your message. Of course, brief and very informative. And we all know that you are also a nature lover, and our registrar, as a professor, also is involved in many plantations programs in the university. I think he has an award also, Vrikshamitra. Yeah, dreaming to get an award. I hope it will be successful. You will get the award. And now I request the respected rector of our university, Professor P. Suresh Verma garu, to give his greetings as well as.
Very good morning to all. Respected President of the function, Dr. Jyotirmay garu, and conveners of the 3-day international conference, Professor K.S. Ramesh garu and Dr. Talari Vasu garu, and our registrar, Professor Teki garu, and guest of honor, Christiani Nicole, Dr. Professor Christian Nicole, and the principals of various colleges, College of Science, College of Engineering, and College of Education, and Special Officer Professor Ashok Garu, and my dear faculty members and students. First, I have to congratulate both conveners for organizing 3-day international conference, and as per my knowledge, this conference is not only related to your Telugu and English departments. So nowadays I'll give a few examples, because the Earth ecosystem is written in 2000, 3000 BC in old ancient scripts. Everyone knows the entire ecosystem is built with Pancha Bhutas, the 5 physical elements. Everyone knows. And the same history tells our body also made with those 5 elements. And especially I called some engineering students also here. You have to know, whenever we are inventing any new thing, the base is in our old ancient scripts. Because even if you observe the old Yuddha Vyuhas and old Yuddhas and lot of things. There's a lot of technologies involved. That technology is based on the Earth's ecosystem. I'll tell a few words in Telugu. మనం పాత యుద్ధాల్లో అగ్ని వాయువు ఇలా ఆయుధాలు వాడేవారు బికాస్ ద 5 ఫిజికల్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ పంచభూతాలతో ఆయుధాలు తయారు చేసేవారు. అండ్ ఈ పంచభూతాలు మన ఎర్త్ని ప్రొటెక్ట్ చేస్తున్నాయని మనం చెప్తున్నాం, ద ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్. మనం ఈ రోజుల్లో ఏదైనా ఒక సైక్లోన్ వస్తే 5-6 days బ్యాక్ మనం ఐడెంటిఫై చేయగలుగుతున్నాం ప్రజెంట్ ఉన్న టెక్నాలజీ తోటి. బట్ ఇఫ్ యూ అబ్జర్వ్ ఇన్ ద ఓల్డ్ సిస్టమ్, ద పీపుల్ దేర్ calculated some old scripts. They will tell when the cyclones comes, in which season, which season will come. Everything they are written in the old literature. If you observe in the Telugu and English literatures, there is a lot of scientific concepts are there, and that we are planning to control with this literature. రీసెంట్గా వచ్చిన సైక్లోన్స్, ఒక 5 days ముందు మనకు సైక్లోన్ తెలిస్తే ఆ సైక్లోన్ని మనం డిస్ట్రాయ్ చేయడానికి అలా వస్తుంటే సైక్లోన్ మనకి టీవీలో చూపిస్తున్నాడు, బట్ వీఆర్ అనేబుల్ టు కంట్రోల్. బట్ దేర్ ఆర్ సమ్ కంట్రీస్ అండ్ ఈవెన్ ఇఫ్ యూ అబ్జర్వ్ వీఆర్ గ్రేట్ పీపుల్, అవర్ ఇండియన్ లిటరేచర్ కంటెంట్స్ హౌ టు కంట్రోల్ దీస్ 5 పంచభూతాస్ ఆల్సో. ఇన్ ద ఓల్డ్ యాన్షియంట్ స్క్రిప్ట్స్ మనకు ఒక తుఫాన్ వస్తుందంటే తుఫాన్ ఆపగలం, తుఫాన్ కంట్రోల్ చేయగలం. అవి ఇప్పుడు మనం టెక్నాలజీ వాడి చేస్తున్నాం. బికాస్ దట్స్ వై టోల్డ్ దట్ this subject is not only related to your English and Telugu departments, it is a right platform for the entire university. Because whenever the university is started, the research should be interdisciplinary, not for the core individual departments. So once again, I thank to all the organizers for putting a right conference in the right platform. And even engineering students, whenever if you want to invite new things, you have to study the old English and Telugu literature. Nowadays, the Sanskrit is a made compulsory subject in German universities. You know why? Because in the Sanskrit, lot of literature, there's a lot of latest technologies involved in the, still it is in the Sanskrit language. That's why German people now they're learning Sanskrit. The lot of countries now, they started learning because they want to do a deep learning in our Telugu and in English literature, because a lot of technology concepts are included in the old literature. Still we are unable to extract the technology or knowledge with the literature. So that's why this is one of the a good conference which is useful for the modern technologies also. I don't want to speak much because our chief guest, that is our Honorable Vice Chancellor, is unable to attend this conference due to some university issues, and he's conveyed a message. I am reading this message on behalf of the university rector. I am reading the Vice Chancellor's message. I am very happy that the Department of English is organizing a 3-day international conference on writing anthropocene, engendering ecological consciousness in English and Telugu literature. It is said that humans have wandered the earth of thousands of years, but never has our capacity to alter Earth's ecosystem at the larger scale be more prominent than it is today. Now, anthropocene has become an environmental buzzword. It was the first coined by the Paul Crozen, a Nobel winner of Dutch chemist. In other words, Crozen and Stomer used the concept of anthropocene in the connet, the even increasing the influence of humans on the earth. The idea of anthropocene is the first introduced in the scientific literature in 2000 by Paul Crozen and E.F. Stomer in the International Geosphere and Biosphere programs, a global change in the newsletters. Since then, interest has grown in the hypothesis that the earth is a new stage, distinguished by the particularly intense, a long-lasting and harmful anthropogenic impacts, that a new stage of amounts to a geological epoch. Anthropocene was entered the scientific and popular literature as a vivid expression of the degree of environmental change of Earth. Human-driven biological, chemical, and physical changes to the Earth system and so great, rapid, and distinct that they are characterized an entirely new epoch, the Anthropocene. The environment and climate change are now a central concern of the world. The impact of the human beings on the environment and ecology is far-reaching, often devastating, and human beings are able to modify the influence nature to the dangerous extent at the cost of many species. Many acts of human beings are environment now are irreversible. The basic element of nature that are given freely by God for all species are now being commodified. The situation has arrived where the nature destruction is now impacting human species along with the other species. Hence, the impact of environmental degradation is not a study of one particular discipline, the nature or physical sciences or social sciences or humanities. The approach should be a multidimensional as the issue concerned is multidimensional. The study of environment is more complex than it appears to be. It can be situated in isolation. And it is not just a study of each element in isolation, but it is the interaction. It is a complex phenomena that requires a complex approach. Each discipline has to interconnect with other disciplines to have a holistic understanding of the environment. Literature is a vast repository of various representations of nature. Also, literature has a powerful to positively influence generations of the peoples across continents. I'm happy that now the literature studies have turned up to take up a patient issue concern entire species, not necessarily a human species. I'm also happy that the Department of English is now pioneering a study of literature and environment both in Telugu and English. This is the first of its kind in any university in the state of Andhra Pradesh. I am confident that this conference will inaugurate a new era of studies that will be useful to human beings along with the other species. Let me end with a quote. Nature does not need people, but people needs a nature. So this is the message conveyed by our Honorable Vice Chancellor in this occasion. And in this occasion, everyone knows this message also clearly mentioning that the conference is the multidisciplinary aspect. And especially, I thank to the Professor Durga Prasad Garu for inviting, because this conference is the one part, is the physics also is one of the part in this conference. And for your presence, because you are our formal registrar, and we are happy on behalf of the university. I thank for visiting our university once again. And I thank to all the organizers for giving me an opportunity. Thank you very much.
We hope that this conference will be an eye-opener in this area. Thank you.